Here's something.
Yeah, I do too. I think that means we have a regal visit coming right here, huh? The King and Jeff Jarret. Jeff's got that Southern Heavyweight title wrapped around his waist. The King bringing the crown, greeting the fans all along the way. I'm sure they heard just a moment ago the news, but we'll confirm it with them about the match. King, I'm sure you heard over the monitors the confirmation the guy Coffey got. He talked to Eddie Marlin, and the match is okay. We're going to put it at the top of the card.
Did everybody hear what Dave Brown just said? We're going to find out. We're going to find out if they got as much guts as they got size on those bodies. We're going to find out if Brian Christopher is going to be able to hide behind them. They're big, but Brian Christopher, I don't think they're big enough for you to hide behind all night long when you get me, Jeff Jarret, and Danny Davis all after you. Now, things are obviously heating up around here. Things are obviously heating up in the USWA, as you can see. They're coming from all corners, not just of the United States, but now all corners of the world. We've had in the past few weeks a few guys in here that thought they were going to take the Unified World Heavyweight Championship and take it someplace else. They thought they were going to take it out of Memphis, Tennessee. We had guys like Mr. Perfect, Kurt Hennig, come in here. We had guys like the Macho Man, Randy Savage, come in here. We've got guys like the Honky Tonk Man floating around here. And now we've gone all the way to the former Soviet Union and come back with the Russian Brute. The Russian Brute. Well, Mike Samples, he looks pretty impressive. He looks pretty tough. And I'm sure that if he has been over there where the food supplies are a little on the short side, I'm sure that he's got a hunger not only in his belly for some food, but I'm sure that he does want to take that belt away from the King. But let me tell you something else. You get a little under my skin when you start talking about the people right here in Memphis, Tennessee, and the people right here in the United States that, unlike you, Mike Samples, you ought to count your blessings. You ought to get down on your knees every single night and thank the good Lord above that you live in the United States. That you don't have to live in some other country where you have to wonder where your next meal is coming from. Mike Samples, there are people here in this country that do have to wonder if they're going to have enough food on their table, that do have to wonder if they're going to have a roof over their heads when they lay down for sleep at night. And Mike Samples, for you to come out here on this television and try to make fun of them, as I said, that gets under my skin. And I'm going to show you Monday night just how much it gets under my skin. I'm going to look across that ring at this Russian Brute. And the way I'm going to look at this is just like everybody out here in this audience knows what it's like to work for something. They know what it's like to get up every morning, go to work, get paid at the end of the week, and then when they take their hard-earned money and they buy something, let me just make an example. How would you feel if somebody broke into your house in the middle of the night and they robbed you blind and they took every one of your possessions that you had worked for years? That would make you pretty upset, wouldn't it? Well, I'm going to tell you something. That's the way I'm looking at this Russian Brute. I'm going to look across the ring, and I'm going to look at him just as if I got out of bed in my house in the middle of the night, and I saw him walking down my hallway fixing to steal something from me, because that's what I'm thinking. He and Mike Samples are coming in my backyard, in my house right here in Memphis, Tennessee, and you're going to try to steal my belt that I've worked for years to get. Well, I'm going to tell you something. Matter of fact, I can't tell you what I would do to somebody that came in my house in the middle of the night. But I'm going to show you what I would do to him Monday night when I get the Russian Brute in the ring. And Brian Christopher, you and those Harlem Knights, you're in store for a hot Memphis night this Monday night. That's all I'm going to
Dave, you never ever know what to expect when you show up here on Saturday morning. One thing that I did know what to expect this morning was Eddie Marlin showed me a list of competitors coming in, challengers for the Southern Heavyweight title, and Axel Rotten's name was at the top. And he got his shot for Monday night. And Axel Rotten has wrestled in the WCW and the Global Wrestling Federation. He's wrestled up in the Northeast. Well, come on down. And just like Jerry said, you're going to be in our backyard. That's exactly right. At the Mid-South Coliseum Monday night. And you know, the Memphis State Tigers got a big game tonight. And one thing that they got on their side is they're playing on their home court. Well, Brian Christopher and the Harlem Knights, I want you to come on down to the Coliseum Monday night. Because me and Jerry have faced the toughest teams in the world, and we put them all down. So, Brian Christopher, with your mouth and their big size, yeah, it's a pretty good challenge. But I know one thing, me and the King are going to be up to it Monday night.
There's a word from Jeff Jarrett and the King, Jerry Lawler. This open-door policy of the USWA gets some wild ones coming in here, but it's great for you fans to see the action. We'll be back with more action here. Don't go away.